Y'all, who remembers this video?
Just sit back and ask, did I die? Don't know. I didn't.
Ryan was giving these vibes the entire time, and I died.
Please don't hit me in the face.
Did she get hit? No, she didn't.
Hey guys, welcome back to Taste of Reality, reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, episode, I think it's 16. Let's say it's 16. They're dragging this season along, okay? It's dragging. Quite frankly, I'm tired. I'm really tired. But anyways, please make sure... Oh, I'm in a British accent now. All right. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you're aware every time I post a video. And yeah, let's get into the review. All right, so we're going to start with Haley and Jacob. Haley says she's not sure whether or not she's going to give Jacob a fair try when the experiment comes to an end.
What are some of the things you do like about him?
He is loyal, and then the fact that he did this process says a lot about him, that he's like willing to put himself out of his comfort zone. And, you know, I do think that he's a good guy.
My question is, why not try to make it work now? Like, you've clearly been able to form some form of a bond. And I'm a full believer in you're able to build bonds with almost anybody if you're willing to do the work. And the problem with them isn't necessarily that they're incompatible. It's that they're unmoving. They're very stubborn. And if you're impeding on the way I've done things, I'm threatened and I don't want to try anymore. But you've seen that good times can happen. You've seen that intimacy can also happen. So why not try now? Why are you pushing it till after the experiment when you could just start now? The dinner that they ended up having was very nice, very sweet. They were very complimentary to each other. They were kind. There wasn't a single jab in sight. And honestly, if you were to ask me right now, what are they going to do? I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, when I did my first impressions video, I think I projected them being together. If you would have asked me last week, I would have said absolutely not. If you ask me right now, I don't know. These two are so up and down, so roller coaster that child. If y'all end up together, cool. If y'all don't, cool. We're out. We're checked out. We're done. History has shown us that their good times, though are really good, they are fleeting. And even at the end of the episode, they had a great couple days. Is this gonna last? Probably not. We'll have to see until next week, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure most people are gonna say no, but like there's an inkling in the back of my head that's like, maybe it's just let the cameras leave. Just let them give it a try, even though I feel like they should just try now. And I know I've been saying this over and over and over again. I'm rambling, but just whatever. Yeah, I'm done. I'm tired. Moving on. Next up is Clara and Ryan. I'm sorry. Ryan says he's tired about talking about feelings.
I'm emotionally out of feelings, but like you're constantly like nonstop. You're talking about your feelings. And so it's not bad to talk about your feelings, but it's like sometimes I just want to talk about sports.
There's only so many ways you can talk about your feelings.
Yeah, sometimes I just want to talk about movies, you know?
Let's talk about the Braves.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason why I find this funny is because he's the one who said he needs to be emotionally invested in somebody to really give her the intimacy she's been searching for. Clara's just trying to find a way to expedite that process. She's like, all right, you need feelings? Let's talk about feelings. Day in and day out, let's talk about feelings. Now you're talking about, I don't want to talk about feelings. So what you want to do, sir? What you want to do? Come on. Then here you have Clara who says, oh, our marriage, no concerns.
Our marriage is 10 out of 10. No complaints.
We expect that there will be differences and struggles for all of the couples. And without recognizing and facing these issues head on, a marriage is being built on a shaky foundation that could eventually crumble.
Were you not the same person who was just chewing up Paige for allowing things to go on in her marriage that she was against? You're kind of doing the same thing, not to an extreme extent because, your husband isn't Chris. But he's doing things that you don't agree with. And like, on one hand, you're telling us, the public, that you're not with it. But then you're telling your friends another, and you're telling him another. And then you're telling your family, God knows what. It's so confusing. The two of them, one thing they're consistent at is to be able to believe whatever narrative they painted for themselves. Even when Clara was doing the little like personality matchup compatibility thing, Ryan was over there like, what?
I think deeply about things. No. It is important to me to achieve great things. No. I set ambitious goals for myself. No.
That man was stressed, okay? But I'm here like, this is the Clara we've seen. She's been saying these things and trying to portray herself in a way that God knows why she's trying to portray herself this way, but she truly believes it. She's like, oh, like say things, or like think deeply about things? No, there's no way. Huh? Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay. At the end of the day, when I think of these two, they definitely have great potential because the attraction is there. The willingness to work with each other is there. But this hiding their true selves from each other, it's not going to work. She's going to need to be, why am I rambling today? She's going to need to be more forthright with the way she actually feels about the status of the relationship. Not just to save face. And if it's not saying it on camera, say it to him at some point. But he needs to understand this. And you, sir, you have a lot of issues with her lifestyle that we seem to have swept under the rug. The raising your children not in the church thing, that was a big thing a couple weeks ago. Why has that not, been brought up? Or I forget some of the other things, but we know that he has more issues than just, oh, we talk about feelings a lot. No, he has greater issues, but he doesn't want to talk about it. And everything is, yeah, sure, yeah, we're great, da-da-da. Y'all are not going to work. Even if you guys choose to stay together at decision day, if this is how you guys are going to keep going, the trajectory is downward. It's downward. I don't know why I'm feeling spicy today. It's probably the hair. But it's downward. Moving on to Eric and Virginia. Eric says that he's frustrated that he's not Virginia's #1 priority.
I'm not her #1 person right now. I'm pretty sure I'm not even her best friend right now. I think as a spouse, that's supposed to be your #1 person.
In my head, I'm like, how can you be her #1 if y'all don't agree socially? Y'all don't agree politically? Y'all don't agree personally? Like, there's a lot of things in here that would be red flags for, outside of this experiment. Like, why are you two together? You're telling me politically we disagree? Socially we did, down to the kind of house we want to live in, the way that we argue, the drinking, there's too many issues for her to want to see you as her #1. Why? When my best guy friend is literally my twin, why would I choose you who's only been here for 7 weeks and who keeps threatening to leave me? All right, then leave. If you want to go, you could go. Virginia, it's so hard to side with her because she just be saying stuff that I'm like, what? She thinks that one of their biggest issues is their difference in their social lives.
I want him to come out and have fun with me. And if he's not going to, then I want him to be okay with me going out without him. And that's where kind of like our not amazing communication skills has come into play.
First of all, that's a you issue. You need to find a way to rein in all this partying, girl, because it's not okay. All of this alcohol consumption that you're doing at 27, 26? How old is she? I don't know. It's too much for anybody, let alone somebody who's in a new marriage. Take it in, guys. They're newlyweds. You guys are having this, and I know a lot of people say the first year is the hardest and then you get the 7-year itch and stuff. But if this is the first year, and I can't even blame it on the experiment because there are other people who within the first 8 weeks, the issues weren't this deep rooted. They weren't this like, oh no, I'm this way and I'm not going to change. And I get her when she says, you know, she would like for him to come out with her. And even if he doesn't, she would like for him to be okay with the fact that she's going out without him. Understandable. Until you're going out 3, 4, 5 days a week. Until you're drinking yourself, until you can barely take yourself home, you got to sleep at other people's homes. That's an issue. Personally. Take Eric out of it, that's a you issue. At their last date, Eric gets emotional about just basically just how much he loves Virginia.
I love you so much, and it's just so nice to have someone like that, you know? Because I've been looking for that for a long time, you know? Seriously. That's one of my huge fears that I've told you is like being alone, you know?
It's clear that he loves her. It's clear that he wants to be around her. And it's clear that, you know, the way that he's been saying things has not come off the right way. And he acknowledged it when talking with his friend. And my thing is like, why couldn't you have been this person this entire time? The concerns that you've said are not concerns that, you know, are completely out of the ordinary, but the way that he portrayed it was very possessive and very controlling. But when he says it in the way that, like, I just love you so much, I really want to be around you, I really, you know, love your presence, and I haven't had this, I have a fear of being alone, I have a fear of, you know, getting this deep into whatever this is, not whatever this is, it's a marriage, duh, getting deep into this and then it just all going away. I'm not completely like over his possessive nature because I do still see hints of it. This is my personal definition of what I would deem as possessive if I was in this relationship. Okay. But the way that he said it this time was like, finally you've said it's a matter of I want to be with you, not I don't want you going over there. You could have just said that and y'all would have had so many like non-issues not become the issues that they've become. So obviously they still, you know, are not in agreement on their whole living situation, but if they want to be together, they're going to work it out. We know this. It is what it is. I don't think it's that big of an argument. I would plead for Eric to keep the way that he's been articulating himself this week. Something about the way that he's been talking in this last episode has been different to me than it has been in the past. He's been finding a way to say what he means rather than saying the first thought that comes to mind. Because normally the first thought that comes to Eric's mind is going to be something that's a little bit more abrasive than what he's really trying to convey. And this Eric, keep him around. Even if Virginia leaves, keep this Eric around. Tell me you've never dated a black woman without telling me you've never dated a black woman.
Open your eye. You said you wanted to take your hair down.
I wasn't ready.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Vincent, what the hell were you thinking?
Oh, hell no!
All right, so obviously our last couple is Briana and Vincent. Vincent shares how he was initially turned off by Briana's assertive nature.
I'm gonna be honest, like when I heard that you were bossy on the wedding, like when I heard that, that really turned me off.
Decision day is approaching, and I have a lot to think about. Just the term turn off was off-putting for me.
Not gonna lie, I love her, but her type A personality would be too much for me. Girl, pull it back, rein it in. Should he have said turn off? Maybe not, but that's how he felt in the moment, and I don't blame him. The fact that in your family speech they said bossy, 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 bossy. All you've shown us is Vincent doesn't do things my way. Vincent doesn't wake up at the time that I want to wake up. He doesn't. Come on, sis. Are you surprised that it was a turn off? It would be a turn off for anybody, not just Vincent. Granted, Vincent is a little bit more sensitive than she is, but anybody would be irritated by this behavior. So she talks to her mom about the whole assertive thing and all that, and how he's easily embarrassed. And the mom suggests more communication. Now listen, I'm tired of people suggesting communication as that's the deficit in your relationship, because that might not be the case. I can talk to you until the cows come home. If we are not, who's texting me? If we are not conveying the message we are really trying to say, it doesn't matter how many words I spew at you. If you don't comprehend, nothing will change. So to me, the issue with them is articulation, not communication. They talk. We know they talk. Sometimes it's your tone of voice, which she has found a way to fix, and Eric has yet to find a way, but that's his issue, not necessarily communication, because he talks a lot. It's his tone of voice most times. With Vincent, it's articulation. He's got to find a way to say what he means and not say what he wants to say. Because I can say, I hate the way you do this. And that's what I want to say. But what I really mean is, when you do this, I feel whatever. So people, please, when somebody says they have an issue with something, oh, maybe your problem is communication. No, it might be a communication style. All right, stop. Briana, however, seems to be unwilling to change her, maybe not change, but modify her bossy behavior.
I cannot change myself, and I will say what's on my mind. And it's things that I mean. So it's like, he needs to accept me for who I am, because otherwise it's not going to work out in the end.
She can afford to pull it back. I'm sure we can agree that she can afford to pull it back. You don't have to completely relinquish your, inclination to be on the ball all the time, to have everything in its place and yada, yada, yada. But you can release some of that control sometimes, even if it wasn't Vincent, like I said before. And guys, I've said this before also, and I'll say it again. You are in this process because what you've been doing hasn't been working. So the only way you're going to be successful now is to do something different. Everybody knows Brianna's bossy. His friends know that Vincent is, a little bit sensitive. Y'all are going to have to find a way to meet in the middle, regardless of this specific relationship. You're in this experiment because the way you've been doing things doesn't work. So what makes you think that you're going to remain the way you've always been, and you've ended up unsuccessful, and that it's going to work this time around? Granted, is that to say that you must change in order to find somebody? No. You can definitely find somebody who this would work for. But you've indicated that you're not trying to be that person, and you're not trying to be with a kind of person who would just accept you the way that you were. You're trying to change, and you're trying to be a different person, and you're trying to be a different person and have different habits. This is the time to do so. I do have to give them leniency because it has only been 7 weeks. But also, are we not adults? I feel like we would have seen some kind of, realization of, dang, this didn't work before. Maybe let me try to change it. But no, homegirl's like, hey, if you don't like me like this, then she gave us the Eric. Yeah, I don't know. All right, y'all, this has been a long one. I'm long-winded and I'm very itchy in the back of my neck, so I'm going to call it a day. But next week is finally decision day. I'm contemplating no, I'm not even going to say it because you guys are going to say yes. Anyways, please make sure to like, comment, share, like, comment, share, subscribe as usual. Clearly, I'm really hyper, which means it's bedtime. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys next week for another review.